Individual 2, Legacy Partners, Life Masteries Institute, and the Life GPS app. And hi, my name is Mark Boersma, President of Synergy Solutions, a volunteer for the project, and I get to show you all today some really cool things that I think are going to help you in, well, every area of your life. The live application is life-gps.org. So life-gps.org. And so that's the live one that you can go through, and you can start using it now and start sharing with other people. It takes 17 seconds to identify someone's personality. Very cool, very fun, like all your friends and family and neighbors and strangers. I mean, it's just really cool to be able to do. But what we're looking at, so I'll let you do that on your own, life-gps.org. But what we're talking about today is some of the new enhancements that are coming out that I think you'll be really interested in. And so if you're interested in being behind the scenes, which I would encourage you to do, because typically those people that are at the core, the start, the foundation, they're the ones that gain the most benefit. So if you want to gain the most benefit personally and professionally, I would email Emily and or the individual who invited you to participate in the rebroadcast of this, and Emily can get you access to the back-end testing of it. So let's take a look here. I'm at the kind of the foundation of the testing here, and I'm looking at the test, and so it's really simple. You take the test, and it's which of these four shapes would you tend to like the most: first, second, third, and fourth. And then next is which of the, and again, this is not perfected. This is in testing here, so there's, some things that might not work, which is why we're testing it. And then which of these four things would cause you the most frustration in any area of your life: out of control, out of order, conflict with people, or boring or not fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are actually my tests. Yours are going to be different. This is going to be the first two personnel videos that come up. Now, Legacy Partners, these are mine that I did many years ago. I don't know, probably 10 years ago I did these videos. And you can put your own videos in if you have your own channel, and that's what we're talking about today, is having your own channel. So when you have your own channel, you control everything. Now, you could put my videos in, you could put Jen's videos in, you could put your own videos in, whatever you want to do. It's your channel, right? So you get to decide what you want to do. And then when you display all, it's really cool. Like, here's the geo test. And so you can click on any one of these videos, and it's very intuitive. It's like, click on this one, and it speaks to you like you're an analytic personality. And then your secondary is the driver. So there's 65,536 possible combinations, and it's so awesome how Legacy Partners got all this stuff figured out. And then you can go to the pane, which may match or may not. So mine, it's switched over. I chose the analytic and then the driver, but in the pane, so in the geo, I chose the analytic and then the driver. But in the pane, I chose the driver and the analytic. Now, that may not seem like a lot different, but it is. And then the combined, it's the lowest score. So the lowest score is the one that has where you have the highest energy. So you chose, pain, I chose not being out of control, and then, out of order, and then conflict with others, and then boring and not fun is 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you combine these together, and you can have a tie here because, I had 1 and 1, so either of these, I could go to either one of these and choose which one. And then the next step is not working yet. I don't think they're working on it now, but the next step is where it's really cool. Yep, it's not working. The next step is where, so they go through this, and in this updated version, this won't be on the live one, but on the updated version that's hopefully coming out within the next week or so. So you want to get out in front of this. It's where what do you want them to do next? Maybe you want them to go to another topic, and I'll show you topics in just a minute. Or maybe you want them to go to a website, or maybe you want them to download a white paper, or maybe you want them to buy something. Like, this thing is a sales machine. I could spend 10 years coaching somebody on how to sell based on personalities, and it wouldn't do as good as this does. Plus, this will work even when you and I are not working. So it's really cool. So that's part of the front end. Very easy peasy. I mean, this is simple. If you go up to the top, go to the home button here. It's a little home here. And then there's some cool things up here. So you can go to the profile or, view last week's, last test or take the test or sign out. Let's take a look at the channels. And there's a little bug there, so I'm going to go back, and I know how to get around this one here. I'm going to go in again, and they're working on it. So I don't know why it takes twice, but it does. And then there's different channels that are going to be here. So Life Masteries will be the default channel, but you could have one or multiple channels. So you could have a personal channel if you wanted to, or you could have a professional channel. The company you work for, or if you own your own company, you could have a company channel. And then underneath the channels, there's groups. So in here, there's two groups. So there's two groups, and you can drag, you can drag and drop it. You can scroll it over. You can use the little arrows, whatever. There's more groups. So I can just take this and scroll it like that. So there's different groups. So you can set up groups. The channel is where the power is. So that's where it really becomes powerful. Then you have topics down here. So there's time management, there's spiritual life balance. So if we take a look at the time management, for example. Now, this is really cool. like this is a lifetime dream of mine. I can't even tell you. I mean, I've spent decades thinking, how do we get this? And Tom Kuntz, he inspired it and moved it along when we were in Nashville speaking on community business partnerships, the book he and I wrote together. And probably 10 years ago, a little over that. And so he went ahead and said, Mark, wouldn't it be cool to have a mobile app for this? I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know how it was going to come together. But now it's really cool because then you can look at, so time management for an analytic is going to be different than time management for a driver. And so, or time management for an expressive or time management for, an amiable. And so you can go through and you can get like specific things. Like it's so cool. It's like, whoa. And then here's some additional resources that you can do. And yep, they're still working on the next step. So they're still doing that. Then I can back it off here. So this is why I've asked Jen to be on the call today, because this is like my sorry, I might get a little bit choked up here. And so like I think about like my girls, my 4 girls, and I think about various times in their life where they've either gotten into bad situations, hard situations, or, maybe they've been put in those situations. And, I always tried to be there for my girls. And I think, what if I wasn't there? And then I have this huge, like this huge compassion for all those girls that don't have dads, or their dads, like their dads that aren't there. Or those girls that even, their dads are there inappropriately, like molesting their girls. So, talking to Edward Rivera a while back, he's a good friend of mine, and he's a Hispanic gentleman, and I said something about, incest and how girls get molested by their dads, and he's like, yeah, that happens a lot in the Hispanic community. And I think, and I just, like, there's all, and what about orphans? And when I heard Jen's story, about how she felt more safe on the street than she did in her own home, and then how she shared transparently and awesome women about how she was molested, at home for years as a young girl, and then she was raped, on date rape, and my heart just aches for her because I can feel her pain. Or what about, like, and Katrina's she's my middle child, the third of the 4 girls, and when she, tried to commit suicide, she's given me permission to share that, and I think, like, we were there, we knew it, we were on top of it, but it still happened, but we were really attentive to it. Well, what if we weren't there? And then I think about my 3 granddaughters, my 2 grandsons, and I think about the world they're growing up in. So I've had this vision for years and then I think about Jen, and where there was one teacher that didn't even remember her. Like, how cool is that? Like, she didn't even remember in 3rd grade. That made a huge difference in Jen's life, like one person. I'm like, what if we could get technology to do all of this? Like how cool would that be? So, so I don't know, like, sexual abuse could be a topic. Like, sexual abuse could be a topic, and then Jen could be on here, and I've seen her videos, they're magical, and she could speak, like, she's going through Personality Masteries course, and you definitely want to do that. I'm just saying, like, just go through that. She's going through that course. Like Tom Coons, when he went through it, he said, I've been through so many courses on personalities. There's all kinds of them out there. He said, but I've never seen anything like Personality Masteries because it's so simple, but yet it's so comprehensive. Like I've been studying it for over 30 years, and every day it's new. It's like it's so simple, but it's so thorough because there's 65,536 possible combination, which keeps it really interesting. Every situation is different. And so I can see, like, a girl being molested, or a girl being, a young woman being sexually abused, or any woman. And I could see her going, like, I can feel the energy, and she's like, sexual abuse topic. And she just goes there. Like, she can do this, in her own home or on the street or anywhere. Like, she can do it privately. She doesn't have to be embarrassed. She doesn't have to be scared. She doesn't have to be frightened. And I can feel, like, Jen's energy. Like, when she clicks on this, Jen will say, sweetheart, you are an amazing young girl, or an amazing woman, or whatever she says. She'll figure it out. And I just want you to know that I love you and I care for you, and we've never met. I don't know if we ever will, but we have, because my energy is with you. And what's going on in your life right now is so painful, and you feel so lost and so helpless. But you're not alone, honey. You're just not. So here's what I would recommend. You're an analytic personality, and so, you're trying to figure this stuff out. You need to get some help. Or if they're an amiable, and they're super nice and they're passive and they're wonderful, caring, what they need is they need to have a drive. They either need to find that energy in them, or they need to find a teacher. It could be a man or a woman. They need a protector. They need somebody who's going to say, this is going to stop, like, right now. Like, it is going to stop right now. Because if it doesn't stop right now, it's going to get worse. Or what about somebody who's addicted? Like, addiction is, I believe that all addiction comes down to the core of entitlement. And so, women who have been sexually abused, it's like they'll often go ahead and become prostitutes, or they'll often go ahead and get into drugs, or they'll often get into, alcohol or something. Why? Because they've been hurt so bad, they're entitled to a break. And I get that. I mean, there's no judgment at all. It's just kind of how the human brain works. But that's just going to make the situation worse, and they're going to go down further and further. So, every addiction, each of the four personalities will be addicted for very different reasons. And so Jen and Matt King, like, he's got great video presence. And even if you don't, you can still do your own videos. It's like you can always redo them, and that's the cool of, the channel and being able to do it. And so, what about people that are depressed? Like, I believe the app is going to, I know, I can sense it. Like, there's somebody who's really depressed, just about ready to take their life, and we don't even know it. Like, I was just talking to somebody a couple days ago, and they talked about how a close family member had committed suicide, and I hurt so bad. Like, I'm like, if this app was just like 2 weeks or a month, like, if it was just out there. And so, like, there's so much pain in the world, and there's actually so many easy solutions. There really are. Like, it's in the brain. It's learning to think differently, and this has the ability to help people. So it'll zero in on the geo and then the pain, and so then it goes into the combined, and then what's the next step? And again, they're working on that. So what's the next step in being able to do it? And so it walks people through. So, I mean, imagine, like, people actually not committing suicide because of this app. There's going to be stories. There'll be hundreds or thousands of stories. And what's cool, it's so easy to take this to any person on the planet, because all you need is somebody who knows how to watch a video. Like, they can see Jen's video, and then they could translate it into, something else. So there's this is cool. It's going to look a lot better than this, but there's going to be here where you can grid out, and there's a graph, and it'll know who you are, and you can click on it, click on somebody else, and again, they're still working on this. But it'll give your personality versus their personality. Like so many cool things. All right, so I have cried enough. Jen, thoughts, insights?
I think my mind is going in a million different directions because it would surprise me if any one of these topics didn't touch someone on some level. They either know someone or, So, you told me a little bit about it a couple weeks ago, and I was really excited then. But now, because I think most of us have a business in one way or another. It doesn't matter if you're CPA or what you are. You want to make a difference to someone else. You're really skilled at something, and because you're skilled at it, it comes more easily to you, and you want to use it to help other people who aren't as skilled in that. That's kind of my thought. Maybe it's my hope that we all kind of feel that way. And this is doing that at a different level, like you said, while you're asleep. It's making a difference in the life of that one. It's being the third grade teacher. So I'm really excited about it. A lot of in public speaking, one of the draws is that you can reach it's more bang for your buck. You can reach 100 people at one time instead of one-on-one talking to people and keeping it very local. Video is even more so that way. You can reach a much broader audience. So with 5-minute video, you can reach thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and you don't have to replicate it. So I think that's a huge part of why I love video so much. It has a potential to reach the masses without exhausting yourself. I'm not traveling the world and giving the same speech everywhere. I'm doing it one time and continuing to make an impact. So downloading an app on your phone just takes that to another level. But the fact that people can interact with for their businesses, for personal, it's very exciting.
So the business applications, like I've talked with a lot of computer programmers and technology people, and I'm saying this is a new operating system. Like Windows, Microsoft, they have an operating system. Windows have an operating system. This is an operating system. It's a new operating system. They're like, you don't understand technology. This is not an operating. I'm like, trust me, it's what? So I tell them, ask them, what's an operating system? They explain. I said, that's what happens in the brain. Like every single person has their own operating system. And there's not technology out there that connects into them based on their operating system. They're always struggling. What does this mean to me? With this, it's so precise, and it can be any topic anywhere on the planet in any language in an instant. It's just awesome. Matt, you've been involved in this at the very core, deep level. Questions, thoughts, insights you have, Matt?
No, this is an incredible walkthrough, Mark. Thank you for that. So the brilliant thing of this is you can make money out of it on the business side. You can leverage other people's talents to impact where your heart's at and who your heart is out there for in a major way. If you don't feel like you have the talent to do that, it lets you drive that through and make that impact anyway, which is really incredible. So it's not just for one single thing. You impact across the board with it, and you can do it at immense scale. So really amazing.
Cool. Emily, you've been guiding this through and been so instrumental in this. Questions or thoughts or insights that you have, Emily?
I don't really have any questions. I will say that listening to this, I think, has helped me really see more of the app than just technical, because I've been so involved with the technical side of it that I was kind of getting lost in the technical aspect and kind of losing the big picture and what it's going to do for other people without the technical involved. So I just think this was a really great kind of overview of the app.
Cool. So this is just, again, a tentative. You can share this video with anybody you want. Everything's subject to change, obviously. But what's how does it get monetized? Like, how does, there will be, I believe, people who are very wealthy that will give millions of dollars to this because it will, I think it'll be the most effective tool on the planet to helping people to think differently quickly about anything that's really somebody's passionate about. Whatever they're passionate about, they can be passionate about anything, and the app will help them. Obviously, funding of it, it's really costly. And so Life Masteries Institute Legacy Partners, there's just been so many contributions, and especially Alan and Nancy, they have given so much financially and support-wise. Roseanne and I, my wife and I, and our kids have made so many sacrifices to make this happen, and it needs more funding sources. It has to go ahead. There's just so much that needs to be done, and so the monthly contribution, what they're looking at, this is tentative, and so it'll be a free app. People can go in where it'll generate revenue for the individual and for others is channels, having your own channel. So it looks like there's going to be two types of channels. There's going to be an individual channel and then a group channel, and then different levels of pricing. It looks like that they're going to be rolling this out really soon, and anything level, I think it's level 4 or better, higher in the individual, and then anything at the group level, there's going to be a 50% discount on a monthly. They're still working out the details on that. If you're an affiliate member, you initially, that again, all of this is subject to change. They're still working on this, but initially, you would get 25% of what comes in. There's nothing like this on the planet. like when you're selling something and everybody's got it, it's hard to sell. But when you have something that's so unique, so very, very unique, the financial is huge on this. So you could make personally, or as a business, like a CPA, let's say, they could offer this all to their clients, and it wouldn't cost their clients anything unless their clients wanted a channel, which they probably would, and then they could either turn it into another revenue source where they could get 25%, or they could give the money away to a great cause. I mean, whatever they want to do to it. And so you talk about a company with 1,000 employees, 1,000 employees, and you can see the different levels. And so so it looks like for the first 100 people individually and for the first 100 groups, they're going to be a 50% discount. So you want to, again, being on today, you get a jump start on this and able to see, what it is. And so you can make a boatload of money. I mean, a ton of money. And you can raise, a lot of money for great causes all the time, and impact people's lives, and have a ton of fun. Like, there's just so much. And and then the funding also goes to further development. There's so many more ideas, that people have, or that are there, that just need funding. And then obviously just a ton of promotion to get the word out. I believe people are going to be on TV and radio, and so there needs to be like thousands of people who are certified in personality masteries, and then tens of thousands of people all over the world representing this. So anyone have any questions or thoughts on this, what we've gone through?
When you say they have their own channel,
yep.
What channel? Like a YouTube channel?
Uh-huh.
Channel. Okay.
So it'll be like a YouTube channel where they get to control the videos. They could put your videos if they wanted to. They could put their own videos there. They can do anything they want. So when they give out their code, when they invite somebody to participate in, when they come in, they would go to whatever channels the person or the company set up. So if you had your own channel, everybody that came in, you would control initially what it is that they're seeing. And you'd have your own topics, and they can be public or private channels. And so a company would have, a private channel for internal employees, like training. All kinds of training could be done on this. Like each of the 4 personalities learn in a different way, and they're motivated in a totally different way. And so, so it can be, I believe it's going to become the foremost training on the planet for companies to do, because now they can train. It's almost like a superhuman being trainer can train in this. So if you have a channel, you control the whole thing. The company controls it, the group, the organization controls it, all of that. make sense?
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have anything else? Get this video out. I'm just telling you. Like the founders, like you could be one of the founders. I mean, look at what the founders did for Apple. Look at the founders of Google. Like you could be a founder, but you got to move quick. Like you got to move quick. You got to, like, I don't care what motivates you, honestly. Like it motivates me is when I hear a heartbreaking story of somebody who committed suicide, and I'm like, my gracious, Mark, if it was just a week earlier, if it was just, like, Mark, there's, like, okay, if you're motivated by that, then be motivated by that. If you're motivated by making a lot of money, I don't actually care what you're motivated by. It doesn't matter. Use that motivation to get out in front of this. Connect with Emily. If you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. God bless and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.